Oh, we're at the camp. Low on options and in need of a plan. They're in need of you needing to feel like a man. Join ice. If you're low on options and in need of a plan, they're in need of you needing to feel like a man. Join ice. And I can't even drink them because I would shit myself, man. I had 2 of those shakes and I shat myself. It was just one quick, and then it ran down my leg, and I was like, oh, I froze in place when the record scratch went. Whoa, whoa. You might be wondering how I ended up here. Look what I set up yesterday. This is what I bought with my dono money. This is what I bought with my dono money. Oh, fuck. Oh my god, it's touching my leg. Oh my god. I bought this with my dono money. So, oh fuck, get out of here, you fucking log. You driftwood ass piece of shit. Fuck out of here. We got a straggler. If you're low on options and in need of a plan. So I haven't figured out exactly how I'm gonna but I got this. It's supposed to be for a wall, but I was like, you know what? The problem with this shit is that it's stretchy. Look, even if you try. Shut up. So, until I figure out the correct apparatus, I'm using this dead tree I found. And that's how I was able to charge and it didn't overheat. And now it should be at 100 because it charges in 3 hours now, thanks to my handy dandy 65 watt USB-C. It needs to be something that attaches to this. That's a specific height, so that when I lower it, I can detach it from these and then roll this up so that it can connect to that right there. But to be frank with you, nobody's here anyway. There's no real reason that can't be just like this forever. The only problem is this, and this doesn't even work, so I have a shade now. We can hang out for a bit. Shit, I got a driftwood tripod now, man. How's my service here? Can you show it? What do you want? I saw a DMT elf. The bird cawed, and then it created like this little kind of funnel where the energy got pressurized, and then I saw the fucking clown DMT. Isn't that what they say the Nephilim are? Clown people? If you're low on I'm like a groundhog person right now. Why are you laughing at me, bird? Check out all these flowers that grew. Look at this fucking field of flowers. Look at this fucking field of flowers. Look at all these fucking flowers and not a single bee in sight. Where'd all the bees go, man? R.I.B. There's flies. Get off me! Chat, the mouse that was in my camper brought fleas with it. So now at night, I'm scratching because I have fleas now. You know what that means? It means I need a mouse trap. It means we have to kill Mickey. I don't want to kill Mickey. But he's bringing fleas into my home. There's a bumblebee coming. Oh, this is nice. If you're low on options and in need of a plan, they're in need of you needing to feel like a man. Should I join ice? Get off me, I'm not a flower. Get off me, bitch. Motherfucker thought I was pollinated. Anyway, should I join ICE? I have a friend that's in Border Patrol now. That's probably the best job for trolls. The bird agrees. The people that hate watch, join ICE. Join ICE, take my advice. Join ICE. Well, if you're looking for purpose in the current circus, if you're needing respect and attention, you're in need of a gig that'll make you feel big, come with me and put some folks in detention. Just last week was kinda tough, I put a kid in cuffs, I zip-tied a lady to a van. We can sneak around town hunting working folks down, I hear they get a great benefit plan. Join ICE, take my advice. Join ICE. If you're lacking control and authority, come with me and hunt down minorities. Join ICE. Look at them go. You found that interesting? I figured, I was just waiting to see what would happen. I don't even have my chat on. Hold on. I'm making sure I don't shit myself because I drank a shit ton of orange cream smoothies. If you're lacking control and authority, can you? Oh, there are people. I thought you were a girl, and then I looked at your butt. Has anyone ever asked what your favorite word? What is a favorite word of yours? Favorite word. Bro, my favorite word. For a long time, it was eviscerate. I like the word eviscerate a lot. My favorite word. My favorite color is green. I don't have a favorite word. I don't have a favorite word. Iridescent is pretty cool. Yeah, I don't have a favorite word. Eviscerate. Eviscerate. Eviscerate clandestine activity. What if the sky was yellow and then gray? Shad was a hate watching troll. I was like, he's been an OG. He's like my turns out he was a hate watcher. He was a hate watching loser with no life, man. That kind of sucks. Oh, my vape is out there. Stop laughing at me. We're gonna go set up my gazebo. I just got another one. But this one is much nicer. It has crenellation design like a castle. And it has a mosquito net. If I didn't say that. I think it's bigger. Crow already moving into position. Get the fuck out of here. Why are you flying over my camper? For what purpose? They just like a little dance and get in around town hunting working folks down. I hear they get a great benefit plan. Join us! Take my advice. Join us for respect and power. I hear they got great hours. If you're lacking control and authority, come with me and hunt down minorities. Join us. Look at them go. If you're low on options and in need of a plan, they're in need of you needing to feel like a man. Join ice. Oh yeah, people have been asking to see my poop pile. And I don't really have a poop pile, but I did leave some yesterday for you guys. I know how much you want to see it, so once they get here. Because they have no life. As soon as Casey's life, I'm sure they'll come back. Linda, if you haven't seen it, this is what I've been working on. I have a Shelter Logic 10 4s up there, and then down to now I have a welcome mat. But also I have this big cross that I have to work on because I didn't screw it in that great up there. Because my ladder kind of sucks and the support kind of sucks. But I have this, which is what we're doing today. We're going to set this up today. You know what we can do now? Ta-da. It's not a tripod, but it's better than nothing. You're on my wicker shelf. You're on my fucking wicker shelf, bitch. I eat a lot of pizza, man. It is what it is. Okay. I don't have text-to-speech on, so I'm just going to check chat. I don't have the ability to speech. Okay, so it's one leg and then one thick one. This is one leg and one thick one. You're lacking control and authority. Oh my god. Jimmy. Hey Jim. Jimbo. Jimbo, did you get a brain blast? I love getting brain blasts. Hey Jim. Hey Jimmy. Hey Jimmy. Did you get a brain blast? Hey Jim. Hey, did you? There it is. Oh, I fucking found it. I fucking found it, eh? Stop falling. Stop falling. Stop falling. I don't know where this one goes. Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. Where the little one goes? Here? Join eyes, take my advice. Join eyes. I hear they got great hours. If you're lacking control and authority, come to me. Hunt down minorities. Join eyes. Look at them go. If you're looking for purpose in the current circus, if you're seeking respect and attention. This last week was kind of tough. I put a kid in cuffs. I zip tied a lady to the bed. Get out of here, bud. I'm busy. I don't think I'm doing this shit right. pretty certain I'm not doing this right, and I'm missing one piece. 1, 2, 3. I'm missing one triangle thing. Huh? I know for a fact these go here. So that can go there. Then that can go. This can go up and attach to here for right now. Why'd y'all bully Matt into quitting, man? I didn't even get a chance to talk to him. I didn't even get a chance to meet Mr. Money. Sneak around town, hunting working folks down. M stands for money inspired me. He had shit on Reddit talking about there's a man named M stands for money who has a YouTube channel asking for help he's vehemently trying to get his teeth fixed. And I was like, that's the closest thing to fame I've ever seen come out of the homeless community. Like, he needs to understand he's a pioneer here. He's an icon living. Who else got to that level of fame, man? I guarantee you Smosh, if Smosh knows about me, Smosh knows about M stands for money. I'm telling you. And he's funny, he's an entertainer. He needs to see it as we're in the year of Capricorn with Karma and Saturn, and it's 2026, which is a 110 year. It's a year about karmic return and Saturnian stuff. Yeah, you're going to get what you gave. You're going to get hit like a truck for shit you didn't even know you did. It's about your impact on others. And for the most part, I think that people like us are like bug zappers for mosquitoes. Like the trolls are like mosquitoes and we're like bug zappers. You can't hate the mosquitoes because it's in their nature. But you have to get a bug zapper and you have to build a framed shit so that there's a mosquito net. Like when the mosquitoes come, I just swat them and I'm like, yeah. What are you going to do? They're mosquitoes. Now, which one of you fuckwits took my goddamn triangular piece is my question. All I do for you, and you guys took my fucking tripod, set up a haircut. I've been thinking about it at some point. Like if you look at the live videos or the YouTube shorts, I look pretty good with short hair. I just, I like having long hair. But if I were to like fade, have like the floof, but no hair gel, cause I ain't no bitch. Or even if I might do cornrows first. I might do cornrows. But I think my hair goes down to almost to the base of my spine. I might cut it to just below my mid back to start. If you're low on options and in need of a plan, they're in need of you, need to feel like a man. Join ice. Look at them go. This is unusual. There it is. I found it. I got stomach things rumbling. I like it here with long hair as well. I hate hair gel. If you're looking for purpose in the car. I also got this umbrella, and I put another one on the picnic bench down there. And then I spent a big chunk of the dono money on a nice awning, so that, and I put it down in the cabin so that people can sit under it, which I couldn't really afford to do, but I just wanted them to see that I'm not a freeloading bum loser, even though they are. They've been supposed to come up here and help me with this for 2 months now. Like, all this was supposed to be, they were supposed to help me with it, and they were going to lift it off the ground. And instead, they just don't show up. They ignore my texts. They scream about how I'm taking advantage of the owner. And then they stole the owner's side-by-sides out of the garage, and then took their kids and whipped it all around the property, up and down this really steep hill, which is not good for those machines. Fucking wrecking their transmission. Because they're a bunch of babies. They think that indifference is a virtue. It's very weird. Like, the points that they try to make are not based on any logic or intelligence. It's based completely on, like, kindergarten bullshit. Yet, I think they were raised in kindergarten bullshit, so they had no challenge them. So they grew into like baby boomers are big babies. Like, I'm glad that I met the people that gave me this gazebo today, who are from out of state, and they've been here 30 years. And they have a nice house, and they're moving to Tennessee. Because I got to see what, like, normal, healthy people are like. And I don't think that those guys are inbred lemming cave monkey losers. Those guys were really cool. And he even admitted, yeah, my wife is disabled. But I was like, that disabled wife, much more put together and intelligent than everybody, like the white women here, the old ladies that treat me like shit. Slam the door in my face. I thought white culture was designed to make them completely retarded, but so arrogant that you'd never be able to convince them they weren't retarded. And what I don't understand is how come everybody in every playground across the country came up with the game that if you think about the game, you lose the game. None of us had a teacher that taught us the playground games, and I was with the kids when they made up the playground games. And then when I got older and we got internet, I realized people made up the exact same game across the country. The playground games we used to play that we thought that we made up, and we made the word for it. Kids across the country, pretty much every town I go to, I ask. And yeah, one kid in one school, the same way that I witnessed it being invented, like we invented it. It was invented by kids with the same name. And I'm like, that has to be some type of mass electromagnetic spiritual forest fruit. It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me, man. Chico. You think Omar watches me now? There can't be more than 500 people in the locale community. Y'all really think there's more than 500 people involved? The locale community are supposed to be adults with like lives and families and children that get off on being a playground bully to schizophrenics. But then if you try to challenge, like if you just say anything at all to them, they tend to devolve much worse mentally than the people that they target, I found. They tend to be a lot more methed up, you know what I'm saying? Like they're more childish, more playground insult, not very intelligent. I wouldn't say intelligent at all. And they need to be better than somebody else. They tend to be upset at their own behavior, but because more channels are popping up to give them the opportunity to be okay with cosplaying as a playground bully because you were probably bullied in school, or you have self-esteem issues, so now you feel like you can finally, you know, like I'm a playground bully to old white people in my state because I was abused by people like them. So I'm assuming somewhere along the way there has to be some personal thing that happened that made them like that. But as I thought about it more, I realized it's probably a byproduct of nothing ever happening to you. Because with pain comes a lot of values. And when you don't get a natural sense of inequality and pain, your only option is the unfairness of work. And that Saturnian government society is designed to crush you if you don't do anything. Basing a government or a society off Saturn and Capricorn means that you're just ultimately crushed your entire life. And the more you fight back against it, the higher you might be able to rise up the mountain of brick after brick after brick. But at the end of the day, you're just crushed. An Aquarius government would be you're free no matter what. There's nothing imposing on you and you can just grow out in any direction. And then the only real problem is like informational exchange. A Taurus government would be patiently perfecting an understanding of everything that came before you and how everything works to build the perfect thing and slowly care for that perfect thing until it's able to grow on its own. And then the thing you grow usually will grow up and then care for you the way that you cared for it. That would be a Taurus society. A Saturn society is one that crushes you and crushes you and crushes you. Anything you leave open, it's always trying to get in. And it will just beat you down. And then it values the people that survived the longest and the strongest. Became the strongest. So we're in a Saturn-based society. That's why they wear the Saturn worship. That's why Black Rock and Vanguard and the Star of David is the 3D optical illusion of a cube. And then they worship Black Rock, Mecca, and Islam. Then you fold up the Christian cross into a box. It's a 3D cube. It's all a Saturn-based secret society that developed religion to divide and conquer. And we're moving. They believe, at least, that it will be impossible to avoid the Aquarius society from spawning, because there will be too much of Aquarius's influence to do their magic, which is just conscious control. So when we know that this is a Saturn year, and we know that I mean, my main prayers was like get justice for what my family did to me, and then I wanted Demon Hunter and her husband Brian. I wanted their family to get some type of blessing. Like, I was like, please just give them everything. Please, God. They've done so much for me. So then, how do you think that like generated into the infinite as a 33 life path? Reckless Ben and Brian Mansell goes up against Bricks and Minifigs, and brick by brick by brick by brick, they will get justice for Brian's stolen Legos. And my main hang-up was that I can't tell if it was my dad, my aunt, or my mom that stole my probably $10,000 or probably $40,000 worth of Legos, and then it just disappeared one day. And none of that, everybody blames it on each other. Sorry, there's a bug that's trying to infiltrate. Oh, Fluttershy, I've decided that you're a loser. Sorry. You went back to the hate group. I'm sorry. You went back. And Spirit, I had a message for you actually. Part of the 6 and the 33, I don't have it because I've been crushed so much in life, but the problem is that sense of peace makes you naturally arrogant. The arrogance will be your downfall. Bird. And crows. I hear they get a great benefit plan. Join eyes, take my advice. Join eyes. On options and in need of a plan. They're in need if you need to feel like a man. Join eyes. Look at them go. So I have 2 here. 3B. I don't understand where 2's supposed to go, man. I think it's just supposed to go onto. I think it's bigger than I expected, to be honest, and that's what she said to me last night. Yeah, this doesn't fit, which is also what she said. This one. No, this one don't even fit either. That means this must be a middle part that goes onto this. This one just doesn't hook up to anything, man. What the heck is happening? Okay, I guess it goes here. There we go. We fucking did it. Yeah, Fluttershy was talking about how like he's so special that he could manipulate the universe to conjure people into his life. As if he's like literally brainwashing people to spawn. And the connotation was like, probably had to do with sex, right? I was like, that was kind of sick and twisted. Yeah, but what a literal being of some kind explained to me on the car ride back is that when people don't go through shit in life, they live in a completely deluded, like, delusional thing. And the system of our consciousness wants to combat that delusion. Let's say it's like your ancestors and other beings around you, things that have a greater sense of empathy. When you don't go through shit in life and you get to that delusion, it's trying to teach you. That's why the natives call it teachings, medicine, instead of just like events and experiences. If you were in Inception and you didn't have a totem and you didn't know that you were in a dream, how would something that doesn't have a physical body wake you up to realize that you're in a dream? So the best thing is that they try to go a little bit deeper, and then they make you upset at your own behavior in other people. Because there's no way that you'd be able to see it in yourself, but they can at least make it so you get upset about a projected image of yourself. So that might not be you, like what you're seeing, like when people look at me. Everybody sees a different thing, but you specifically, especially the people that target very specific things about a guy talking to a camera, you find that the camera is a good medium that makes it really difficult to actually, like, to be on this side of the camera is completely a performance, and there's some stuff that happens with it, like you have to be fast, you have to keep going, you have to respond to stuff, and you don't get a chance to just sit and chill, and it's not another person, it's a phone screen, so it's different than if it was a literal person standing here. But what I've noticed is that people that can't be reached, the only way to reach them is that spirit tries its best to make you upset at yourself so that you can recognize yourself and then make a change in yourself. It's also true that genetics has found out that at least 200,000 years ago, there was a change in our genetics that made it so our telomeres have caps that deteriorate, and we can only live to 120 years maximum. And in those old texts, like the Enuma Elish, the Emerald Tablets, Göbekli Tepe stuff, like that ancient, like 6,000 years before Christianity, that said that we're only 6,000 years old. It's kind of cool that the dates do line up, but it's a lot older than Christianity, and it seems to be a lot more put together and intelligent, more scientific than Christianity. Christianity is more mythos, which would make sense because they were, let's see, 2,000 years before Christianity, they would be in the age of Aries, which was war and self, and then 2,000 years before that, it would be the age of Taurus, and then 2,000 years before that would be the age of Gemini. So that kind of makes sense why the air sign society left behind the stone tablets that explain things scientifically, because they're probably a really scientifically influenced thing. That's why they had those technological feats. But yeah, there were people here long before us that explained things like, I think it was Enlil and stuff that said that long before humanity, other beings came down for our gold because their atmosphere was fucked and they needed a reflective, malleable material that they didn't have, and they had it here. So then they took what was here, the things trying to evolve to look like the sun in God's image. So we developed it, like we looked like this. Or it could have been praying mantises or cat people or lizard people or whatever was there. And they took their own stuff and mixed it in to make worker people. And that's in a lot of different places in history. And it lines up to what genetics has found about a seemingly artificial enhancement of, or not enhancement, but just change in our genetics that made us only able to live 120 years. And then they, in the Enuma Elish, I think it says, Enlil maybe, said that they will be the seed of me and they will live no longer than 120 years. And then we see that around the time that they say that that happened, there was a telomere cap installed in our genetics that made us only able to live 120 years. And I don't know what they call it. They said it's a worship gene, where there's something in our genetics that make people externalize. So we look for things outside of ourselves. And that if we didn't have that worship gene, we would be, instead of always yearning for something outside of ourselves and looking out for stuff and going to do things and like motivated, we would all be sitting around inside of ourselves like Tibetan monks. Like the way Tibetan monks are was how we were naturally before they literally installed a mod, according to ancient texts and science now, with epigenetics and dating back, seeing changes. There was an installment of the worship gene that makes us look for things outside of ourselves, which is why we place power onto other people and authority on other people, or we need validation, or we do all this stuff because it supposedly, according to the ancient text, we were made to work for the favor of the gods, which eventually became our fathers and mothers and stuff like that, where we want respect, and you know, that externalization wasn't there prior. So I want to say that internet trolling is just an extension of inbred cave monkey bullshit. It's something you need through externalization because you're afraid to go inside and look at yourself. Which is why you value your job so much. And the internet trolls always talk about their job. I work. And like, that was literally epigenetically installed in you to say you're literally just an NPC inbred cave monkey. Like, I guarantee you, if we didn't have the worship gene, we'd understand quantum physics at a conscious level, and we would have been able to evolve with nature around us, and we would have been able to control the particles around us and levitate. Guarantee you, if they didn't put a gene in us that externalized ourselves outward, so we literally can't go inside, it's very hard to go inside, really, authentically, which is why, for thousands of years, people like Jesus and Thoth have been saying, you need to know thyself. I am is the way. They externalized us to worship aliens. I am. You need to get back in and not you need to find selflessly. It was all codes to try to get you to wake up to understand that God's not happy about their ant farm. And then Irish people say they went to war with them back when they were Israelites, and Jewish people say they fucked them. let them rape their women. And that's why they deserve Palestine, where the Irish people are like, we just want to be free. Join ICE, take my advice. Join ICE, I hear they got great hours. There's really no way to prove it's true, because I can't go into the place that says they have the emerald tablets. I don't know where the emerald tablets are, but I know that people are saying they exist. And to have it be like 100,000 people in on the conspiracy that they're bullshitting history only makes sense if there's like a really strong financial incentive and it's really heavily guarded, like the Vatican plus institutions and schools made by Freemasons. I don't think that like the archaeological community is, well, they are actually, right? Aren't they really upset about Graham Hancock because he's just telling the truth? Who was it? Oh, by the way, I can't tell you that. I know some shit that I'm not allowed to say. I do know some shit I'm not allowed to say. The person that told me to say it, that I would be allowed to talk about it when he died, because he doesn't want his family in trouble. But he told me and said, you just can't tell anyone. But because he talked about it, I've never really told anybody else either. So, all right, I can feel the hate message. I'm coming. You're looking for Daddy's approval. Come on. Somebody needs Daddy Casey to respond. Yeah, I could tell. It's the same shit. Well, I mean, what would I say to that? I mean, everything you said I addressed. There's really not much to talk about there. Like, there's no real intelligence to it. It was just somebody that hates themselves. It's kind of like the exact... I think I remember your username from before. I live on a mountaintop. I don't live by the river. Not that it matters, though. I'd rather be by the river, to be honest. Oh, the hate watchers are here. Or something. I heard hate watcher. What the hell? Oh, I need another crossbar. Look at them go. You think they're real people? I just don't understand how so many of them got like that. Because they talk the exact same way. They make the exact same points. They have no individuality. Their whole personality is just that they're better than something else. It seems... just doesn't see... I don't see any originality in what they do. They seem like the exact same person. They seem like NPCs. Okay. Okay. And then this is a 2. So then this must be a 2. Okay. Yeah, this is a 2A. So this, okay. I'm figuring it out. Now we do this. I don't think you guys were able to see me there. Let me move it over here. Join eyes, take my advice. Join eyes. It's people that think they're better than you because they're cowards. Isn't that, it's a paradox. They think they're better than you because they're less than. So they do, it's a never-ending thing. They'll just go on forever, looking for targets to believe them. And I just go live while I do shit. Or if I feel like I'm called to. Sometimes there are people that need to hear what I have to say. Like when I do the life path reading, sometimes there are actual people that need, like that something else is setting it up, and I'm like kind of, maybe it's like they're talking, the spirit teams are talking, and they decided like this person needs something, and then along the way they're like, I think maybe Casey could probably do it. Why don't we get Casey to try to talk to her? So then they like really encourage, like I get really encouraged, and I feel like I have to almost. This is a lot bigger than I expected, which is what she said. That's also what she said when I woke her up to the truth about aliens. Okay. Alien. DIK is here. He's one of the biggest losers I've seen in my life. There's an animal over here. Don't fucking fall, bitch! Oh. Hey. Need to find another 2A. Bitch. Okay. This is a 2. Your wife is a 2. Okay. Need to find a 2A. There's a 2A. Is there already a 2A on this though? Yeah, there is. But this needs a 2A. Lack of control and authority, come with me and hunt down minorities, join ice. Look at him go. Well, if you're looking for purpose in the current circus, if you're seeking respect and attention, if you're in need of a gig to make you feel big, come with me and put some folks in detention. Just last week was kind of tough. I put a kid in cuffs. I zip-tied a lady to a van. We could sneak around town hunting working folks down. I hear they get a great benefit plan. Join eyes, take my advice. Join eyes. Okay. If you're lacking control and authority. Doesn't it? I just don't get it. Why are they the same exact person, the same exact personality? That's what I can't wrap my head around. Who taught them that? Who taught them to talk like that? Exactly. Where in the internet? Where in chronically online internet loser rabbit holes did they develop the exact same garbage personality? 2A. That's going over here. Now I need a 2. Is it a 2A or a 2? It's a 2. Oh, God. So 2. 2A. And I'm going to have to move this. Put this here. Lay this down. I'm going to... Oh, shit. Let's just move it out first. Okay. It's going to be tough. Blubber's a lonely, ugly, fat woman. She's there because she has no friends. They get in that group because they have no friends. They lie about their life. They lie about their life. It's like Mean Girls. Okay. This one. Then I need 2A. You can sneak around town, hunting, working folks down. I hear they get a great game for playing. Bam. Pride is the devil, man. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. What the fuck? Yeah! No, it don't work. Okay. Now I need just one more 2. No, 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 no. Huh? It's already up there. I've already done it because I'm so smart and I don't even remember what they said. No, they bent it. Unbender. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Couldn't bend this bitch. All right. Okay. We did it. Left wing movement because we can have no societal value and are desperate. That's just political people in general that aren't indigenous and trying to reverse what old pedophiles did to their people. If you're not indigenous and trying to fight back against colonialism, politics is just where losers go to cope. Politics is sports for incels. Politics is dumb. Because no matter what, you lost because you wasted your time. What the fuck? Okay. So 1B, 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 and then 1. Does 1 connect? Is this supposed to go into 1? Yeah. 1B's connected to 1's. So then, assuming... Oh god, how am I supposed to do this? I have to move this gazebo over to that side above the door. So I need 4 more cinder blocks here. And then this needs to go here. No, because the mosquitoes will just climb up that. So this has to stay on the ground, which means that has to stay on the ground too. So I don't need the cinder blocks, but I need to move this chair. Christ is king, Trump is king. Yeah, prove Jesus was actually real. Do you have any actual evidence that Jesus was real? Because to say Jesus is king is completely contradictory, because Jesus was an idea like Inception, in a time where people were raised without internet and without books to believe that they were punished by the gods and that's why they're poor, and that Caesar and the Roman emperor is God's chosen. The gods chose him to rule over you. So the Library of Alexandria created Jesus to combat the idea of a big man that controls all of you, and that's why you need to suffer. And that's why you're poor. So to combat the Roman Empire, they made Jesus, who is a homeless man that travels around homeless, but he is God. He is the Almighty Father. Because if it was a mother back in the day, politics, whatever, it had to be a man in the sky, and it had to have come in the flesh as a homeless man to combat Roman psyops. So the real argument for Jesus is like, what's the likelihood that not only did they get inspired and prophesized and all this stuff, and then God actually did it? He actually came in the flesh as a man? Or do you think it's more likely that the prophecy is the same way that Ronald Reagan was like, the best way to end all war would probably to have a common enemy in humanity, right? Insinuating aliens. So then if the aliens came down, you would say Ronald Reagan was a prophet. Or do you think those prophets were more like, eventually somebody's going to come and help us at some point because we're trapped by the Roman Empire? Like, don't you think the idea of the Roman Empire killing Jesus was a psyop to expose how cruel Rome is? Like, the argument is like, did God do it or not? And is it, God would probably leave some form of proof. Maybe testimonies. I would say that Trump is closer to the Roman emperor that killed Jesus than Jesus. I don't think Trump has much power at all, actually. I think he's old and very vain. And I think that even though he got the presidency, I don't think he's really allowed to do anything at all. I don't think he actually has any say in anything. I think it's just bureaucrats and ancient secret societies that are doing it. The Wicker Chair, we need to reopen mental institutions to send all the homeless people there since they dirty society. No. We should have the freedom to live outside if we want, but they should install public showers in every town so that anyone at any moment can use the bathroom and take a shower without having to pay. Somebody being dirty is usually a response to abuse. I would rather, I mean, if you're talking about opening up mental institutions, I would say that you would have to go. Like this guy, I think he would get more value out of going to one of those. I think he is more mentally unstable. He might just be bitch enough to have a boss. Eventually you'll realize that life is more connected than you realize. You know what I'm saying? And people that choose to go in all of history, people that chose like Hercules or Jesus or the people that people worshipped back in the day, the biggest heroes were people that went to the underworld and went into hell. All the heroes of the Bible, like you say, Christ is king. Everyone that you value in the Bible was homeless. David was homeless. Moses was homeless. Jesus was homeless. None of them brought any value to society for the majority of their life. But what they learned there was the value that they brought. That's why I think that this guy should go to a mental hospital in the comment section. He hasn't realized that yet. He's not smart. He's spouting off shit he doesn't really know anything about. And it does stem from an psyops against indigenous people. I would argue that you feel like people don't contribute anything to society because you don't contribute anything to society. I think that you see faults in others that you're afraid to see in yourself. What up, Taddy? From what I've seen, if you give people, homeless people, a space that isn't illegal to be on, it's very well taken care of. If you make it illegal and you make them the enemy, they like leaving their shit out on the ground, on the street, because everyone around them is not their friend. In every culture other than this one, this society, people all took care of each other without it having to be merit-based. You didn't have to deserve medicine. You didn't have to deserve love. It was just given freely without expectation because they knew that that was the best way. And you'll see that China is much more evolved than us. America won't tell you that, but China is much farther ahead of us. They're much wealthier, especially during the crypto boom. The average Chinese person made a lot more money during crypto than Americans did. So a lot of the wealth transferred over to China from American crypto schemes. They took a lot of children's money that used their parents' credit card through meme coins. China just played the fuck out of all of your, you know what I'm saying? And CEOs of those businesses, the people that are running the best companies in China, you know, and you say China makes shit products. No, China sells us shit products. That's like if like your Coke dealer don't like you and he puts half of it with a paint thinner or whatever. You know what I'm saying? China is far Asia as a whole is much farther ahead than us, especially in eco-friendly stuff like solar and alternative things to oil. Africa has a better plastic than America has come up with by far, and they just went out and they took every single plant that they had, and then they found out all the different cool stuff they can do with the regenerative stuff. So then they found a plant that's actually invasive to Africa. It like spreads across way too much. It covers all the water. And they found that you could take that and make a more durable, regenerable, biodegradable plastic that works better and goes away. Africa's farther ahead of us than that. And what are white kids doing? I think they're just like cutting their broccoli hair and they're on vapes and drugs and running around talking shit. They're like so deluded into narcissistic political bullshit. I don't really see anybody innovating anything. Not in my communities. Everybody saves up to get a motorcycle so that they can put a loud thing on it so it goes brrr. It makes everybody mad. And it makes them feel like a little bit of serotonin high. Like a tiny dose of heroin. I don't see them innovating, but I think that when I go into homeless communities, those people are creating cars out of bike parts. Those guys are like a pedalable car that's street legal. They're doing, they've completely got politics down in the homeless communities. Like if people attack somebody, they swarm like bees. If a shot goes off down the street here, nobody's going to check that out. In the homeless community, if a shot pops off, everybody gets the fuck out of their tent and goes and stops it from happening. Homeless people give their last dollar to another homeless person that's just more thirsty than they are. The problem is that society is geared to beat people into a pulp so that they need to escape into something to feel like they can exist after severe trauma for pretty much their entire... I think like a couple days into homelessness, usually. You get your first dominance ritual where they take away your ability to be in your body and then you live disassociated and then the world punishes you for it. The culture that traumatizes us punishes us for being traumatized. I think if you gave homeless people land, it would take a while for everybody to heal, and there would be a lot of drama. But at the end of the day, it would be a much closer-knit community, and they would take care of it more. Eventually it wouldn't be dirty at all, because people wouldn't have the need to escape, so they would start solving the problems. I can't go build a public shower in central Vermont. I'm literally not allowed to build a public shower. If they had given me an acre of land in the center of that town, I would put a gym on it, and I would put a public shower for everyone to use. And the only rule is that you have to take care of it. Yeah, maybe once every 6 months somebody would barricade themselves in it and shoot up. But they do that in the Arby's bathroom, too. I think that if you improve the quality of life overall for people in homelessness, you'll find that they tend to become more creative and innovative. And that was the point with China, is that China's brought it down. The biggest companies are now doing 4-day work weeks, and I think it's called happy days. If you're unhappy in life and you're unhappy at your job, you don't have to go to work that day. And they found that productivity skyrockets when they don't have to go to work if they don't want to. You know what I'm saying? The world society owes you nothing. The world society owes you nothing. You're out of the tribe. It owes you nothing. And you can go to a gated community and pretend you're better than other people all you want. But the world is moving on. You're going to get old and you're going to die. He's just going over and over again. Is it just more shit talkers? Homelessness leads to murder, rape, drug trafficking. No, the biggest industry in the world is sex trafficking, and then the second biggest industry in drugs. Homeless people have no money. How you think that they're the ones responsible for the biggest industry in the world? They're the victims of it. The CIA said they invented crack to put into black communities because they were doing it like a controlled experiment with psyops and programming and cultural stuff. They destroyed the Native American language and they recreated their own and then psyoped the natives into believing that that was their language the whole time. Because the natives had a spiritual framework that learned emotion at a higher level, because they, instead of building all these big stuff, they did build huge stuff, but they spent most of it learning quantum mechanics in their own consciousness, knowing that reality is wormholes, and speaking through the electromagnetic spectrum, through string theory in their own mind, to the world around them, and they were completely more connected. So the colonizers would shit on the street. They literally just shit out their window onto the ground. We're like, those people are like, we had to kill those people. We got to destroy them because they will realize what we're doing with these psyops to limit their consciousness and force them into working. So they had to destroy their language, which is how they expressed and communicated that really evolved spiritual essence. Sex and drug trafficking is politicians. It's corporations. It's rich people are involved in sex and drug trafficking. Homelessness does not breed sex and drug trafficking. They make it so that's kind of your only option, is to be the lowest level grunt, to take the punishment and be a scapegoat for the actions of the wealthy. It only leads to that because they've channeled the river of homelessness. So as soon as you're in the river, it's kind of like one of the only ways to get out of the river. And you can never swim back upstream to where you were when you started homelessness. You just have to, you become who you become at the end of it. And what the Bible says is the people that go down that stream are the most worthy of the inheriting the kingdom of heaven. How about them apples? You still going? Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Check out, hey, I got these solar lights for free. So tonight, maybe tomorrow, because I didn't get a lot of sun, I got back at sunset. The pathway is going to be lit up, and then there's going to be another pathway that goes around. It's going to look really cool. And then these tiles here, I know that if I stomp on them enough, they're going to break. Eventually, I got a level. I have a hoe, like 2 hours away, just in the woods. I remember that I left. I'm going to try to get that and maybe do laundry down there. And then I'm going to try to flatten this whole thing out. And then I'm going to, once it's flat, then I'm going to try to do the stone pavers. But eventually, oh my fucking god, dude. I'm going to move this back and I'm going to build a frame on it that the frame can be just unscrewed and taken apart and put in there and then re-put up in the summer or in the spring. And then that's going to be a room. And I'm just collecting every time I get mosquito screens for free. Then I'm going to build a mosquito frame around it. But for right now, I'm going to use this mosquito frame gazebo. So I'm going to move this over to here so that this mosquito frame can be inside of the arbor. Why does everyone vape on YouTube? I found out that vaping, 1% of this vape is equivalent to 50 cigarettes. And I'm at 83%. So I smoked 50 times 70. 17, sorry, 50 times 17. Amount of cigarettes so far. And that's why, and I feel dead, man. But the huge hit of nicotine really does help me focus, but it's not good for me at all. Certified Ripper says, bro, can I buy a pair of knee pads and service you immediately? No. I know my voice is kind of high pitched sometimes. I don't like men. I was actually really homophobic for a long time because they kept trying to rape me. What was I doing? I'm moving the chair. I'm moving this chair outside. And this micro water. But yeah, you guys are essentially teachers' pets to like a really like an abusive pedophile system. I know that that's thrown around all the time, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like that world don't owe you shit mindset and all this. Homeless people aren't asking for $1 million. They're asking for a public shower, a public gym, and a safe place to sleep in the woods, probably. Like, and then you'd find that just because people in general tend to make everything better as they go. If they're stuck in a cycle where they're literally not able to make anything better, they can't. So all I'm saying is that if you get them to a point where they're fine, like I finally after 12 years got a place, and I'm here, and all I'm thinking about is how do I make life better for everyone? How do I make life better for everyone? How do I stop what happened to me from happening to other people? And then the people like you won't let me do it. So I was like, fuck, what can I do at least? So I was like, let's just make this look as nice as possible and enjoy it. And if it doesn't last, at least I got to do this. And then on the way, I'm learning skills. Like I've never built a deck before. Now I have a deck. Eventually I'm going to get a framer. I built those stairs over there. I've never landscaped before in my life, but now I'm going to get a hoe out and then put landscape fabric over. I'm not going to put gravel just because I don't know what people, like, what this is going to become. So I'm not going to, like, lay gravel over. I'm just going to make it landscape fabric so that you can take it out. But I'm still going to put the landscape fabric down because it's relatively cheap. And then I'm going to lay these stone patio all the way to the middle here. And then I'm going to build the table that's over there, build a patio section, and then I'm going to have a place to get away from the mosquitoes. And then my storage is going to be over there, and then eventually, pretty soon, I'm going to be bringing the bench press and build the pull-up and dip station so that I can work out every day. So, like, at least I can better myself, and I just wasn't able to do that homeless. And my situation's different than most people. I was in DCF because my family has severe mental illness, and part of that was after my lease ran out, I stayed with my mom for 3 days. She was convinced I was trying to kill her with a grenade, called the cops. Cops believed her, because why would they not? So then they tackled me, maced me, left me in a room with no running water, didn't wash my eyes. And then the cop did make me get on my knees, and he put his crotch pressed against the side of my head and laughed. To a young man, that's molestation. Now I would be like, that sucks, and I should probably immediately go get the footage and hold him accountable. But back then I was like, I don't know what to do. You know, I've grown more since, but that sucked. And then part of that was she found out that if she lies about people and she needs an enemy, she can lie. She could just keep making up shit about the enemy, and that will get sympathy. And that's the only way she gets social interaction, because she lives alone in Section 8 by herself. So then it became like just constantly perpetuating the idea that Casey's a terrible piece of shit. So then I messaged her and I said, if you think I'm going to kill you and you try to get people to hurt me and you do all this shit with, like, now you're prideful about it, like really happy that you lied to the cops and it traumatized me, it's like you're fishing for something to happen. So then she used that and filed an RFA, and then she messaged me pretty much every day for the next 2 years. And then whenever she felt like it, she would call and say, Casey responded to my message saying I love you. And then that's a felony. So I literally am like a 3-count convicted felon just for answering my mom's text messages. So I've shown you guys, I might have one on me. I've applied to like 150 jobs, probably more. I live in a very small state with nothing, and I don't, now that I have this, I don't really want to go places yet. But maybe if I could find it. I've got like a big stack of background checks. They're probably wet now because of the leak before I put the tarp over. But I can't work at anywhere here. I tried. There's a place about 2.5 hours west that is like they say is like one of the only places in the state that will hire felons. It's just like a recycling plant. So at some point, like especially if the guy with the camper pops up again and we talk about it, if he said he wants 2 to 3 grand for an 87,000 mile camper. The only problem is that it doesn't have a bathroom, but everything else works fine. And he's not that far away from me. If he's not a troll and he's serious about it, as soon as this stuff is built and handled and like looks nice and doesn't look like an eyesore, and then it's kind of set up so people can hang out here, so I've made the place better for everyone that comes after me, I will go and work like maybe 3 weeks, rack up like $4,500, pay my car off, and get the RV, and then come back and then work at store. Like maybe after that, once the car is fixed, I wouldn't mind driving like if I ask him for like 4 days a week, and I spend 4 days there and 3 days here. Um, and that's just saving up to get the studio built, saving up for a plane ticket to Hawaii, and then saving up for like a tool set, getting better tools than what I have, and then I want a cordless framing gun. I want a cordless skill saw. I have a drill and I have a corded skill saw. I want a framer, and then I just want like I have a level, I have a tape measure now, I have gloves, I have jeans. At that point, it's just with practice, and then I would just go around and be like, hey, I see you're building something. You need any help? Like he's doing DIY, trying to do it himself. I'd be like, I have everything you need to make it. I can come help you make it. And then I just pop up and help him and get paid for that. And then maybe I go across every homestead in the country and I do a YouTube series about going to different homesteads and fixing it all up and how much views you think that would rack up on Facebook. And then I do GoFundMe's for homeless people to get them to this point. And then I work with Narrowway Homestead to make a school that's pretty much just what I went through, which is just you let them stay out as long as they need, and then eventually you give them the opportunity without expectation to work with their hands. SMH, none of this will happen. You don't think that in a couple weeks I could go get a job at a recycling place? It's just too far away right now for what I can do. Yeah, we don't think based on experience. What's up? Do you know about all the turning cannabis into fuel for your vehicles and tractors? I know about turning plastic into through microwave pyrolysis. You can turn plastic into gasoline. That's a huge bug. These are huge ass bees, man. Look up Narrowway Homestead Natives Resources and Equipment. I know Narrowway Homestead. The Demon Hunter lives about 45 minutes from Will Survive south and Narrowway Homestead north. They see him all the time. Or they should see them all the time because they go to that area to get their supplies. If I went down there, I would probably run into Will and Jesse like within a week because they go there all the time to get supplies. But I was gifted $1 million property. And back then I didn't have the means to get there, and I didn't know if I wanted to do that. When I got the car was in the winter time when I was just looking for a 24-hour gym and a place to park and then a place to work at McDonald's or something. And then I found out once I got my I finally got my birth certificate, then I found out that I can't pass a background check. And it took me a couple months to find a place where people say they might let me work with felonies. I know it's not impossible, but at least in a state that's only for rich people. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Vermont, but just ask anybody and they'll tell you. Vermont's really, really wealthy, and they treat it as one giant gated community. So they really make it hard for people to do anything. And then they also use the police to give you as many charges as possible. They will go out of their way to overcharge you, trying to get more and more closer to making it impossible for you to work so that you have to leave. Because it's a giant tourist trap for the billionaires. It's one giant ski resort, basically. Like it's like 100 different villages that are all the size of like you could fit them. The population of people you could fit all into 1 acre, but a ridiculous amount of money comes through. So there's not a lot of work that somebody else isn't already in. And I just wasn't ready to leave. I was barely functioning. You can always build, you cannot always buy land. How do you pay the property tax? You can build whatever you want on your land. Do not get rid of it. It will always be there for you. Make that your headquarters. It's they said that I can change the locks on this RV. They said that this is my space indefinitely. Um the owner is 90, like in his 90s. He lives Midwest. He has 1,000 acres, and he has a lot of other investments in rental properties. He's extremely wealthy. He put his life into these properties. He's got another 200 acres. It's just devoted to prayer. He wants to make it a sanctuary. If you go back on my YouTube, I found this place like a few months ago. Where I was told to come to this place by a Christian a few months ago, and then I met the owner and everything. Um, Before that, for the past 2 years, I've been saying I want a sanctuary in Vermont that I can use to help other people and make it better. And then I got it. I fought for years. I went through, just scroll back through my channel, you'll see I went through a lot of terrible shit. And then I tried to kill myself. It didn't work. And then I got this place. So I'm not, the people that are supposed to, like they wear KC on their shirts. Their brand name is KC. Um, they really want the property, but they don't do anything for it. They don't take care of it. They make it clear that if the owner ever gave them the property, that they would trespass everybody from it, and it wouldn't be public anymore. And they wouldn't even use it. They just use it to take their kids to rip through the owner's side by sides and try, and that like really fucks up the engine. They're like taking it up this steep hill and just sending it, and it's fucking up this expensive side by side that's only meant to help people get around the property when they're building things. But they don't build anything. They don't do anything but just sit around talking shit. So I'm here now. I'm building things. They're really unhappy about that. They're afraid because they saw that I showed them the video a month before I got here of me having the dream about this place and the purpose of why I'm in this place and that it's supposed to be for me. Before I found this place, when I was 5 hours away, and I described it perfectly. Before I had even gotten up to this part, because there was snow here, and I didn't know what was up here, I showed him the video, and I saw him like, oh, fuck. Because he knows that I didn't know that this place existed, and I described this. I didn't know there was a camper up here. I didn't know what the view looked like. But he did, so he knew, oh, fuck. So I've had like a couple of them have gotten up and gotten in my face and told me that, fortunately for me, there's nothing they can do, but if they could, they'd do everything they could. Because I'm taking advantage of the owner. And I'm like, the owner hasn't been here in 5 years. I mow the lawn. I got all this really cool shit for the property. I go out and I bring people here and I encourage people to come here. And when they do come here, I help them with like bug spray and shit. What have you done? And they haven't done anything at all. But then he goes, I take care of my family. And I was like, I don't have a family to take care of. So I'm, maybe that's why I'm taking care of the project. I don't have anything else. You want this place for power and status and other bullshit like ego gratification stuff, and you've made it completely, you would want to do completely contrary to what the owner's dream is, and my dream happens to be the same thing. Maybe it's a relay race and you want it so bad, but it's a lot more, maybe it's a lot more mentally taxing on you than you should have to do. Maybe you shouldn't be responsible for this place because you have other priorities, right? Like a family. So you're just mad because you're worried that my net worth would increase and you don't think I earned it. But I'm like, you're devout Catholic, devout Christian, which completely contradicts that mindset. How was your wilderness journey? Because mine sucked. Sounds like you won the lottery, young man. Congratulations. No, I was homeless since I was 9, man. They burned my property down and beat my dad until he has a brain injury and can't think and would run around in circles screaming and breaking everything. And then my mom had just such severe PTSD that she couldn't even function and didn't see me as a person. I was raised in isolation, and I was punished for things I was never taught. And I just was taken by DCF and abused in institutions and foster homes. And I had to, sometimes I was locked in a room the size of a broom closet for months, and they only fed me bread and lettuce and shit. And then they would punish me for speaking. And then I got out and I dated the hottest girl in town because I looked up videos on the internet about how to talk to people, and I just sat in the room and thought about people for so long that I found out that all you have to do is just have fun, be confident, not need anything externally, and just lead a life that other people would want to be a part of. So then I went out and did it, and I threw events, and I invited, I just got into a routine of learning social skills, and then I started dating the hottest girls in the town, and that made my peers really upset because I would wear a dress shirt and J's, like a knockoff J's, like Adidas sneakers with jeans, and I had an Irish native hat. It's a native hat, but it's a bit shorter, and it's got the Irish checkerboard pattern because my grandfather was a cop. I'm gonna have to smoke weed and wake up and come to terms with reality at some point. I'm afraid of smoking weed because when I smoke weed, I completely understand everything. Like as soon as I smoke weed, I realize that I'm dreaming and that everything is conscious. And then the birds will come to the window and go, and they're telling me to wake, like they're helping me wake up, as if the same way that they chirp to make the flowers bloom, they chirp making me bloom in my own mind, like building the energy up. And then I can feel like I'm completely, like the world around me is just like a blanket covering us, the illusion. And then I just rise up, and then I can get to the highest frequencies, and then I hear buzzing and I understand things, that it's a higher dimensional entity that's always been communicating with me. And then it shows me myself, all my actions, the laziness, the lack of, like, the not taking accountability, the fact that even though my life was really hard, I could have gone harder. And then it shows me like authenticity and who I really am. But then it's just like I'm trapped in a maze of trauma, and I don't know really how to heal it, and I'm trying my best here, but there's no real things. So then I would just do push-ups and push-ups and push-ups and push-ups and push-ups, and then I would go sit in the studio and make music for hours, go walk around at night, and then I would like, are you guys still watching me? And then all of a sudden, rustling in the bushes, shooting star, big siren goes off, in the trees. Bunch of green lasers come out of the treetops, and they're like, you're on camera. And then I realized nothing's real, and not even the people are real, because nobody's this conscious. Everyone else is settled into pre-made characters living in a scripted thing where they're just letting their impulses guide them. So then who knows who's actually talking to me when the people show up? And then I can start to see what's actually controlling them. And then when I get to that point, usually it's just police brutality immediately, or somebody attacks me with a baton, or I'm just standing there aware, like spiritually, just so much more. And then all of a sudden, some guy runs in with a baton, or like my dad breaks my keyboard in half and runs around throwing kitchen knives at the wall, trying to choke me to death. And or my mom will lie to the cops holding a kitchen knife and smiling, or cops would rip me out of the car and slam me on the ground and just beat my head in, or I'd get tackled and restrained and say I fit a description while they're searching me. And it's all when I start to take that reality and awareness of everything, and I start to channel it into a song that you would be able to understand what I'm talking about. Something does not like me, making it able for you to actually understand what I'm saying. But I'm at a point where I could give up, smoke a little bit of weed, not push it that far, and I could just have a girlfriend. I like how I feel better when I'm not smoking, but it is kind of cowardice. It's like not turning my light on purpose and just kind of going through the motions. But that's also what the Bible says to do, is like leave the light on, but don't do too much. Just work with your hands and don't talk to anybody and just get to know God. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm trying not to bring weed into it. But I know that weed would help. I know I'm crazy, but I'm also not crazy at all. Yeah, Faith, you can make it. You really want to succeed. All things are within grasp. Thanks. Once the everything's out of the camper, wipe it all down, get the mold out. Then I'm putting omega-3s and multivitamins in my toothbrush and everything in the bathroom. I'm going to set a mouse trap for the mouse. Or like I have a heart trap or something. Something the mouse can get trapped in that's small enough. And then I'll probably just chuck him over by the lake down there. And then I'm going to build a gym, bench press. Eventually, maybe I'll have money at some point to buy the weight plates. Then I will start working out every day. Once this is set up and comfortable and there's no mosquitoes, I'll be spending a lot more time outside. The biggest chunk of money was getting this gazebo, and then I bought that awning for the deck down by the cross where everybody prays at, so that the sunlight doesn't hit. And then before that it was the wood for this cross, the nails. Then before that it was the tools I bought. And then before that it was the garden tools. And before that it was actually in between that I bought a computer. So I have a computer now. I did spend $50 on this stone. And then I spent $100 on those stones, and I still have a lot more rocks to get. That ate up a lot of my money. And then the rest was just a gym membership, gas to get to the gym through the winter, phone service. And then at the end of the month, when I ran out of food stamps, I would buy Domino's, which is $10 a pizza, and I would spend like $40 on the Domino's. Buying 4 pizzas over the course of like the week and a half, because I didn't have a toaster oven at the time, and now I have a toaster oven, so. Or I didn't have access to the outlet or something. Or I couldn't cook the food. Okay. So now we have this, and I have to flip you over. Chips are great. Yeah, eventually. I'll show you. I have one. I don't remember when I got it or how I got it. I do have one. I can't remember how I got that or when I got that. Oh, I got it years ago, but I was not functioning. And then I think by the time I had gotten it, I had the shoulder injury. So then I left it in the woods. Yeah, I think I must have got it in because I had the shoulder injury in July, and then I had someone help me bring it up there in August, or like maybe August, early September. So I had already not been able to. I needed time to heal. I still don't know if my shoulder is able to do dips. And then the winter came. No, then they told me I had to get off the property. So I was like, it's no point carrying it the rest of the way up the mountain. Okay. Well, if you're looking for purpose in the current circus, if you're needing respect and attention. If you get a great benefit plan, join eyes, take my advice. Join eyes. I hear they got great hours. I'm not an e-bagger. There's literally nothing else I can do. Watch me try. My channel was small town losers keep trying to kill me. So I would literally say we go until we die, guys. Every time I would go live, I'd say we go until we die. Because I was pretty sure at some point they were going to kill me because they had tried many times. Thank God they were too afraid of getting caught. But yeah, I mean, like I think she was like 16. I don't know how old she was. She might have been 21 or something. A young girl just got drowned by her ex-boyfriend. And the cops, everybody knows who did it. He said he did it, but the cops don't care. Because they grew up with the guy and the girl was from somewhere else, I guess. But yeah, a girl got drowned the other day. Like maybe 2 weeks ago. They drowned her. They offered a homeless woman a ride in Morrisville a few years ago, and then they raped her, dumped her, pled guilty, said that they did it, but the cop made it impossible to prosecute by telling them what to say and kind of coaching them through what to say to get out of being in trouble. So now the cop is under fire for it, but the people are just smiled and walked out of the courtroom. And those people were hitting me with the side mirror of the car, throwing shit at me, shooting at me in the woods. Running at me in the laundromat and trying to beat me to death with a baton. For real, for real. On God, no cap. Oh, it fell apart. That's fine. Okay. That's fine because I have to move this plywood anyway. I have to move everything over here. So those are great. Do-do-do-do. I have to do one at a time. I got 3 plywood boards. And then once the plywood boards are gone, I'll have space to put the legs of the mosquito net nice gazebo. this. You need the tripod when you have a wicker shelf. You can do shit like that too. Yeah, you can't see. If I didn't make a YouTube channel and go live every day, they most likely would have killed me. Because they've killed people for much less than being homeless. Just because they felt like it. Out here in the wild east. Okay. Now, it's starting to look like the survivor city in The Last of Us. Okay. So this needs to go here. Oh my fucking god, bruh. Okay. Okay. This needs to go. Oh fuck. This needs to go here and rest against this. This needs to go up. Okay. Come on, bitch. I'm everybody's dad. Okay. Where the hell? I'm somehow everybody's dad and son. This is a 2, right? Yeah. Just like your mother. Okay. Now this goes in to this. I'm not tall enough for this yet. That's gonna fall on me. It bent. The whole thing bent. So now this is fucked. Okay, that's in. Fuck you. Mosquitos. Alright. go back. This needs to go up. I'm pretty sure the world's going to end at some point pretty soon anyway. Like, people are wasting their life hating. We're going to have robots pretty soon. $20,000 robots. To do our work for us. So you're not going to be working much either. Then you'll be like, man, I wish I had not worked sooner. If I'd known that we were headed towards an abundant utopia. Soon these mosquitoes won't be able to touch me. Your days are numbered, mosquitoes. Soon I may be able to buy a bug zapper. And then you're fucked forever. Forever and ever and ever, mosquitoes. You'll fall to your doom. Okay. What? I'm missing a 2A. There it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it. Yeah. I wanted to feed it through the shelter logic tent, but if I feed it through the shelter logic, I won't be able to drape the mosquito net over it. Okay. All 4 are officially up. Bam. Then I can take you, pick you up, move you here. You're gonna fall. And I'm gonna put you back, and you're fine. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. How the fuck do I do this? 1 and 1B. Does 1B fit into... Oh. Okay. I'm going to assume the one that's smaller is the one that should be closer to the roof, to the ceiling. I'm going to put all the 1Bs together. And then I'm going to put all the 1s together. Yeah. There's a lot of fucking mosquitoes. you, Jimmy. Fuck you, Mr. Beast. Fuck you, Mr. Beast. That's a 1B. So this is the one. Yerp. Okay, now we're in. Okay. 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 Here's the hard part. Back in there. Why is that weird? Why does it look weird? Why should it look weird? Why you look weird? Frame is up. Get out of here, mosquitoes. God. Why would they invent mosquitoes? I was told to drape it over one side and then carry it over. But I don't know which side has the net. This side has the net. This don't make no sense to me. It looks like the I can't tell which one. Okay. I don't know how to do this. Well, it's got 2 mosquito nets. It's got 2 doors. Cool. So I don't have to worry that much about it. I know for a fact this goes on the... Okay, so this is the inside. Help! I'm trapped. It's got four mosquito nets. It's got 4 doors, so it's cool. I don't have to think too much about it. All right. Figure it out as we go. Look at them go. I just want one door to hang so I can know where to start. And then if it's actually the right side or if it needs to be flipped. Okay. Okay. This side. Okay. Now, this is the back. So the back needs to go in the middle and then down. And it fell apart. It fell apart in 3 places. Oh no. There. There. And there. We're back. No, 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 no. Stop it. Get some help. Okay. You shouldn't be falling over like this. You fucking bitch. Kill yourself. Okay. Huh? What's going on? What's going on? This is supposed to be over here. Huh? The door's on the wrong side. Ugh. What the fuck is happening, man? Okay. Okay, get over the roof. Get over the bar, bitch. Alright. Okay. Zip this shit up. Okay. Corner. This goes down. There's a plant here. Who put that plant there? Okay. There's a hole in my soul that's just a rage. One's in. Two is in. Okay. that's nice. That's nice. Oh, fuck you, the zipper broke. No, it was just a fabric on the zipper. I pulled too hard. Okay. I did it. What the fuck you want now, mosquitoes? Get out of here. You ain't got nothing on me, bugs. How do I get out? I now deserve my Red Baron pizza. Get in there. I have my medieval castle now. I'm gonna move it too so it's more even. Like this one, it was pressed up against the arbor. Who put this fucking cross here? Ow. Ow. So then I can use these ceramic tiles maybe to build a pathway around this. You can't touch me now, bitch! Eventually, I got 4 wheels and screws and a drill. Just the little plastic wheels with the metal holster or frame. I'm going to screw them into the... Either I'm going to put them all on one side and then carry like a wheelbarrow, or like a hand dolly, or I'm going to just put them directly on the ground under it, and then I'm just going to lay it over 4 cinder blocks, 5 and one in the middle, so that the wheels are in the cinder block hole and it's still up. I don't know yet. So I want it to be able to be moved, because look, oh, fuck you. Oh, a fucking horsefly. Oh, those things, it stings. It stings. Oh, there's a horsefly in my hair, biting the back of my neck. It probably took the whole day to crawl through my hair to get in there. Like at least 20 minutes that thing had been trying to get through my hair to get there. What did you say, bird? Say it louder. I don't know what that means. I don't speak bird. Unless it's like early in the morning and I'm just waking up. Then I can speak bird. Where'd you put my vape, guys? Whoa, whoa. I'm getting sweepy weepy. Time for a bit of a sweepy weepy, wouldn't you say, princess? A bit of a wet bailing pizza. A little bit of a wet bailing pizza, princess. Would you like a little bit of a wet bailing pizza, please? Would you please watch the movie Fury, starring Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, John Bernthal, and that other guy, please? Princess, would you please watch? Princess, would you please watch Fury with me and eat wet bailing pizza, please? You're looking really good, princess. You're looking really good. You guys can't come in. It's my space. Stay out there. It's just for me and my princess. I don't know where she is. She left like a long time ago. She went out for milk. She never came back. Like, milk must be really hard to come by nowadays, huh? There's a car farting really loud out there. Princess. I have a gun. I have a BB gun. Oh, shit. They have these straps that you can put and Velcro it all together. Princess. Did you know that, princess? Did you know that you can Velcro the roof to the bar? Huh? Huh? Did you know that? Answer me. Did you know that you can Velcro the metal bar to the roof? Princess, where'd you go? Are you still here? I'm sorry. Alright. I'm just connected. You know I get emotional when I have to connect bars to tarps. The whole town can hear me. Princess. Princess, it's not even. They're trying to get in and they can't. The mosquitos can't get in. Ha 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 ha, bitch. I swear to God, I have deja vu right now. I swear to God, this has happened to me 5 or 6 times at this point. I guarantee you, you can find a live stream somewhere like maybe last year where I say that I'm seeing a tarp with 2 gazebos and a camper, and I don't know why. This is a canon event. I've seen this exact moment before, just randomly playing in my mind while I was live another time. It was the way when I leaned back like this and I saw the lattice of the arbor and the beam here and the tarp. I saw that and I remember specifically because I couldn't figure out what this was over here, and it's a camper. I don't know, but I remember seeing this specifically with the live stream going and the wicker thing. All of this had to culminate for this moment, and I've seen this moment before. Just like randomly trying to do like a life path reading or something. I swear to God, I've seen this exact moment through my eyes that I'm seeing right now, as if something went further into the game and then picked out a scene from the future of the game that the player hasn't gotten to and then showed the player. I swear to God, this has happened before. How did you get in? Now you're dead. There's another one. They're getting in through the bottom of here. Because I have to move the deck in. Because the deck is kind of, it's laying over the deck. There's a corner there I gotta fix. And then I'm gonna try to get a hoe and a girlfriend at the same time. And then I'm gonna use the hoe to make a pathway. And then I'm gonna plant a bunch of like fine fescue and creeping phlox, and then some type of arbor vitae, and then maybe just some shrubbery and some bushes, and maybe like a red emperor tree or two, or a cherry blossom tree would be cool. I'm gonna go get like a sapling or something at some point, and then plant the cherry blossom one there, and then I'm gonna plant one on the other side all the way over there, and then I'm gonna have 2 different gardens there and 2 different gardens here, and they're gonna be separated by stone pavers, and then there's going to be a fountain, constant, never-ending solar stream that's going to go through from the pump, and then go here, go here, go here, and then go down to other gardens, and then I'm going to try to make it so it comes back or something. Somehow I'm going to make it so the stream is constantly going down the mountain. Hopefully, like, maybe I can just find the natural stream over there, and then separate it, and then add the pump water, and then find a way to pump it back. Instead of going into the lake, it just constantly recycles. So that when it overflows, it just goes down to the lake the way it normally does. But with solar, we should be able to, and the money of the people that are supposed to be involved in this property, collectively, they're very wealthy. I don't see why they can't. They just want it for themselves to trespass people. So hopefully I can be the anchor and the rock that makes it so they can't be pieces of shit. And then maybe then it'll give them the opportunity to be cool again. But then stone pavers around here. I'm sure this is terrible content, although I'm all the way over here. What up, everybody? How you doing over there? Hey, guys. I'm hiding behind the mosquito net in my gazebo, and you can't come in. I'm not letting you in this. This is my space. What's up, guys? Coming to you live from my cage. I'm a zoo animal, and you guys are watching the zoo animal. I emerge. What y'all talking about? What up? Sweet creepy bud for real. Thanks, man. I appreciate that you've been watching for so long and you actually enjoyed this content. It's basically Will Survives if he didn't have a camera and supporters. Will Survives is where he is because a bunch of people gave him a shit ton of money while he was homeless. Will Survives is the biggest e-beggar on the internet. But now he has sponsorships and brand deals, but originally he was an e-beggar. Look at that shit, man. But now I have to find a way to make the arbor look nicer because it's kind of slanting a little bit. Let's go have my Red Baron pizza. What's my charge at? 52. What'd you guys do with my keys now, princess? Whoops. I haven't figured out how to pump the gas yet. It should be that I just put it in the thing and then fucking you push this down, but that's not how it works. And then this doesn't come off. This isn't anything. Like if you take that off, it's just like a filter or something that you can't take off. I don't know how that works. I have to Google it tomorrow. But that's got 2 gallons of non-ethanol premium because they don't sell non-ethanol regular here. So it's going in there. And then, I don't know, it looks like shit out here. I'm not going to lie. It looks like shit. But I brush cut a lot of the prickers that they said were invasive. I'd like a lot more of these types of trees instead of the pricker bushes. I want like these types of trees covering the whole space. And then I want to get rid of all that wood, and then these dead trees could follow me at any minute. And then build a garden over there as well. There's my duct tape. Now I just have to find my keys. So the deck boards here, they're a lot heavier than I expected. It's mainly just the big frame there. The framing is really, it's not 2x6. It's bigger. It's thicker boards than I expected. So it makes it really heavy to build with. So I might, just because these are old boards, they're not rotted or anything. They might be more rotted now that they've been out in the rain for like 2 weeks. But I'm thinking of just, instead of having framing, just lay them on deck boards so it's more flat. And then just putting platforms out. The pavers originally, I thought the pavers would look nice around here and then branching off there with a middle section. But the way the concrete is and how nice it kind of looks, I might just start the pathway here. And then once I move the deck back, because eventually they're supposed to be showing up and lifting this with the forklift, and then we're going to put cinder blocks under it. But eventually the deck is going to be flush with, or whatever, probably flush, right? Or is it plumb? Plumb is vertical, right? So it's flush with, or level, whatever. Aligned with, whenever that's, the angle's right. So then it will be sort of going out this way so that the door opens up into this. Eventually the gazebo will be moved and it'll be framed onto the platform with screens and like fence posts for walls. Would be pretty cool over the frame. Just an outdoor section. And then this middle section here, around, I'm gonna take this beam out, this support beam, and then put 2 of something stronger that's deep in so that it doesn't, you know, I have to figure out the mathematics of it to make it so that I can remove this beam and have it not tip backwards. And then the pavers will go here. So this whole section with this moved back, like back to here, like pretty much like level with the cross a little bit, will be the seating area with the patio. For when there's no mosquitoes, you sit here at the table and stuff. And then this will be the hangout spot where I have like a TV that I can bring out and put on the wall or something and sit out here and watch TV. Or I could take the cement pavers. I have 11 of these, but half of them are broken in half. So I might make a pathway along here. Let's see if this collected enough solar to work. I don't know how they work. They said they work. What? You have to put a battery in it to charge the battery with the solar, and that's how it works. So I need AA batteries. And the light charges the AA batteries. That makes sense. I wish they had left the rechargeable batteries in them though. Oh yeah, you guys wanted to know, people were vehemently adamant about making sure that they can see my poop. So I left that poop to dry so that it doesn't make a mess of my shovel when I shovel it. They sell orange cream milkshakes now, and they're selling fast, so I got 2 of them. But then I had to drink both of them because they would go bad quickly. And then I went to fart and I shit myself a little bit. Ruined my sweatpants. So then I had to wipe everything, and then I had to go take a shower. And the whole time I was thinking, yesterday somebody asked me the last time I sharted. And I was like, was that prophecy? Did you know I was gonna ruin my sweatpants? Because I forgot I was lactose intolerant? Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Alright. I like stepping on these stones. It's almost like they're stepping stones. You're a grown man. I haven't shat myself since I was like 6. Good for you, man. People with Crohn's disease shit themselves like twice a week. I'd hate to be them. This guy needs to prove himself to me because God is giving me a better life than he has, and he thinks I didn't earn it. It's not like I took down an entire corrupt police station or anything and made the governor so scared of a lawsuit that he changed his behavior permanently. It's not like I inspired people across the state and I stood up to bullies that were molesting homeless women and made the whole town know what they did, and then they all turned against them. It's not like I didn't carry homeless man freezing to death half a mile to my heater at negative 40 degrees. And then one time I gave a guy my only blanket, and then I went and bought him a coffee because he was just laying down in negative 20 degrees, just out there in the woods because they trespassed him from everywhere else. It's not like I didn't open up my house to during COVID so that everyone that was freaking out could have a safe place. It's not like I haven't been a life coach to like for the past 2 years on accident because people going through shit watch me go through shit and it makes them feel better. It's not like I haven't survived. It's not like I didn't help hundreds of kids through DCF custody when they were abusing us and locking us in rooms and I had to make everybody laugh. It's not like I haven't devoted my life without any ulterior motives to just making life better for everybody else. Isn't he the same guy that said Christ is king? But he doesn't believe that God puts people on wilderness journeys to earn it, and doesn't believe that having a job has any real merit over being better than anybody else. You're like, the Bible says, but I'm like, did Jesus say that? The Bible says it. Did Jesus say that? Or did Jesus say the meek will inherit the earth? The homeless people will be in charge. Was Jesus really a carpenter, or did he just do what I'm doing? Maybe you're afraid to go outside. So you need your money to cope with that. You probably don't have very many social skills. Because everything at the end of the day, if it's not positive, so most of the hatred comes from some type of sexual frustration. You don't feel good enough about yourself. And something about me is triggering that in you because you're addicted to social media heroin. So you came back for more, or you've been watching the whole time, which is pretty sad if you don't like me, man. Join ice, take my advice. Join ice. Cooking a pizza. Cooking a pizzazz. Oh, he left. I hear he got great hours. The birds ate all the fucking fireflies, man. Okay, now we drape this back over. So until I find a better way for this awning. That's nice. Yeah, nobody comes here. Because the old ladies that used to walk up here, they threw temper tantrums and tried to get me trespassed off the property, and the Catholic Church said no. So now they don't even come up here. Because they just can't stand the idea that I'm staying here. So they won't come up here and hang out and stay here. What do you worry? Yeah, I don't get it. You're afraid of me? But you were the one that was malicious, lady. You were the one that tried to hurt me. What if I'm the answer to your prayers? What if you needed help around the house? And I would just do it for free because I'm bored. Do you know what I'm saying? So you guys hear those birds sounding like computers, and you don't believe that there's not something you don't believe they're computing? You think that that's a mating call? They're alchemizing information. Oh, I just saw a dragonfly swoop a moth out of the air. There was a dragonfly on the ground hiding on that flower, and a moth flew by left to right, and I was like, oh no, it's an omen. And then the dragonfly flew and carried it off right to left. You guys want to see the sunset? What am I doing? They're establishing a territory to feel safe inside and transmit information between each other. And then the crows come out in the morning and destroy it all and build their own. Fireworks. I think that mountain feet up. Because I'm halfway, that's twice the size of this. I'm getting back in the car. There's too many mosquitoes. I don't know where I'm going next. I know this isn't forever, so I'm just trying to enjoy it. It really pissed me off to see them on the 4th of July taking the owners side by sides and like their 8-year-old kids were whipping it around the property up and down this really steep mountain here, which fucks up the engine. And I know they didn't ask the owner for permission. They brag about how he forgets things because he's old. So if they've told me 2 things. They say they do things knowing that the owner won't remember, and they said that they also believe in divine mercy, which is that you can be as much of a piece of shit as you want, as long as enough Catholics pray for you, you make it to heaven, because they will gaslight God with their love to help you through the purification process to get you home. You know, like, that's the most schizophrenic thing I've heard in my life. That sounds like a schizophrenic delusion to me. Like that, like Fluffernuts or whatever his name was. The arrogant 6 that said that he was manipulating the universe to manifest people coming into his life. As if he's literally but doesn't believe in punishment for that. He believes in an indifferent universe, but also believes in energy. That's schizophrenic. If you believe in energy, you can't believe that you're the supreme being. With how old humanity's been around, plus the pyramids were made by technology we can't do yet, just because it's too expensive for us right now. We could build the pyramids, but it would be way too expensive to haul and use the gas and everything. So they had something better than what we have right now. The souls will rise up to heaven by the sounds of the throne coins. I don't know what that means, but is that scripture and that's why they do wishing wells? Do you think that's just a psyop to tax the people without making them seem like Rome? Once the sun goes down, I'll turn it back and maybe I'll do a life path reading. They believe not scripture. Yeah, they said that divine mercy isn't biblical. The pastor at another church that I went to went off about how divine mercy is not biblical, which is pretty cool because that's what I was struggling with. Trying to understand why Catholics believe that. There's nothing in the Bible that says that. But I do believe in purgatory because 6,000 years before the Bible, before Jesus, there was a stone tablet where the guy says, I'm a scribe for a scientist, and we're here to explain what happens after death. We have people that have been pushing it, we've been making them die and then bringing them back to tell us what goes on when you die. And we're leaving this on stone so that you guys in the future will be able to understand. And what happens is you meet the light and you have basically, they didn't use this word, but a liminal space like the back rooms where it's almost real and then it's revealed that it's not real, which I get like 3 times a week. Saying that, you say goodbye to your loved ones in the dream before it wakes you up in the dream, and then the light comes down after you've said your piece and done what you needed to do. You've had like your soul, like you feel like you got it all out, and then the light comes down and says, do you want to go home? And it shows you the contract that you signed up for. And then most people, they said, rejected at first because they aren't aware of the greater version of themselves that decided the next life for them, or the next, or they feel it's like a job and you're a slave. So they reject it, and then they go into the field of lost souls, or the field of wandering souls. And then the longer you're in that field, that waiting room essentially is the string connecting you back to home thins. And then eventually, if you're there, they said 30 to 50 years, then you cannot go back, and you need to wander and try to hijack physical bodies in between realms, so that us here, we don't see it, and society has kind of led us to believe it's not real. So our impulses become guided by the dead, and we don't even realize that it's something else trying to use us to open up a way back for them to get up to the light again, to go back home. So that was just 6,000 years before the Bible. And then Catholics say that that's real. The Vatican says that that's real. And then natives, all the way over, they've been on this side of the pond for 200,000 years at least. Their DNA goes back 200,000 years here, the indigenous people, to America. And they said that they bring in the lost souls and send them back up. Shamans would do that. shamans in Celtic mythology and Irish culture, they also had rituals where they would bring the wandering lost souls and help them get back to heaven. Or the heavens, or whatever they called it, Agartha, or no, Agartha was like a French fantasy novel. But what's cool about Agartha is that it became so popular that the Nazis believed it was real. Back in the day when there was no internet, somebody made a fantasy novel about a faraway land. And they thought that it was in Antarctica, so the Nazis actually sent people down to Antarctica to find Agartha. Because some French man wrote a sci-fi book about it. And then someone else plagiarized the idea and then posted his own sci-fi book that got more traction. But it was the guy who wrote that book tried to get it unpublished because too many people believed that it was real. But then there was just so many copies of it that he couldn't make Agartha go away. And now, like, what is it, like maybe 150 years later, Black Ops 2, the final thing on Origins, you go down to Agartha through the Nazi portal. But to be fair, they could have found some shit and they're just calling it Agartha because they liked the book back in the day. Like, what if we accidentally find a pocket dimension that looks like the Backrooms and we call it the Backrooms because Kane Pixels made that because somebody took a picture of the weird looking furniture store? Which is the whole point to the Backrooms, actually, is that things happen in the Backrooms in a closed loop. Time goes both ways in the Backrooms. So the events that happen in the Backrooms happen before you even get to the Backrooms, and then it happens while you're in the Backrooms, and then it happens at the end of the Backrooms. The events just keep generating over and over again in a closed loop. Backrooms. Kane Parsons even realizes. I know that he's gotten into Saturn worship because he's in the industry now, and he put his Saturn worship and his Freemasonry into the space, which is why Hollywood says that another director had to have made Backrooms. Maybe Kane is just a nerd that got into Saturn worship because he got involved in the industry. He was with Smosh. Smosh do Freemason rituals all the time. Look up Smosh, look up Eminem in his Lucifer tour where he comes out of the coffin with the two pillars. That's the same thing as a baptism, like the spiritual awakening. And Smosh does that spiritual awakening Freemasonic satanic ritual all the time. It's the roasts where they put the person in the coffin and they all get together and roast them. And then the person comes out of the coffin after they're done roasting him. Linda, I'm going to spoil the Backrooms. It's really good. It's really good, Linda. It's really good. What I'll tell you is that when I got here, I wanted to work at a place called Roberts. And then when I got here, I was I'm always kind of role playing Robert Baratheon, who's based on Brian Boru. And then the main characters are Kat, Clark, Robbie, and Mary. And I chilling next to Mary. And now the hate watchers that clipped the video of me crying about being molested and beaten and tortured and then set out to wander, trying to function again, just to be punished for not being able to. Now they're watching a guy called Robbie. His name's Robbie. Because it's the closed loop. The Backrooms before or after I was introduced to Matt and Robbie Ted. How much I know about it or not. It's like these prickers. The stories are just continuously popping up and growing more and more. What the hell? Oh, you want to see? I do my merch designs. Look. We can do while I wait for my pizza. So I was thinking about this. How do we like this? But I want the letters to be up the cross, and I want the red bar of the cross to go just a little bit higher, and this goes a little bit higher, and the bottom goes a little bit lower. But I want the letters to be sort of halfway on the top bar of the cross there. So I've just been playing around with like different fonts. This is me if I was the king in the north. With an inbred lemon cave monkey. This is me if I... But I wouldn't sell it because like embroidered feathers looks really cool. That's supposed to be the back of the shirt. But then I was working on one. Like this one. I just don't like the way the letters are, and I don't like the size of the cross. But I like the color scheme. Do. If you're low on options and in need of a plan, they're in need of a man join ice. There's a large animal that just took off running that didn't know I was here. Look at him go. I'm just cooking my pizza, and then I'm going to go back up and watch Fury, go to bed, wake up, and then continue working on the property. If you're looking for purpose in the current circus, if you're needing respect and attention, if you're in need of a gig that'll make you feel big, come with me and put some folks in detention. Just last week was kind of rough. I put a kid in cuffs. I zip-tied a lady to bed. Sneak around town hunting working folks down. I hear they get a great benefit plan. Join ICE, take my advice. Join ICE. If you're lacking control, if you're in need of control and authority, join ICE. There's just too many fucking mosquitoes. There's like 15 of them right now. See you later. I'm just waiting on my pizza. Appreciate you watching, man. Ding, 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 ding. Then we're good. So we'll go for another 5 minutes. Too many mosquitoes. Just last week was kind of tough. I put a kid in cuffs. I zipped down a lady to a van. Every time I reach for the vape, my body just lurches in pain. Like, you gotta stop cancer. Then I do it. I don't know. It was literally, let's go right to left. I go to the vape store, it's closed. Then I go, it's supposed to go to the gas station. I go to the gas station. They have a rare deal where it's like half off and buy one, get one free. So maybe I would have caved if I didn't go that day when I was trying to quit, and I would have bought it next week for like, and wasted money. So it was like, might as well do it now. Because now these will last me a while. That $333 donation I spent on 2 vapes for $55. Then I bought a computer for $210 total, including gas. Then I bought a gas can and gas for the lawnmower. Then I got, that awning was pretty expensive. Then I got that gazebo. And then I got the wood for that big cross. And screws, which are expensive out here. And I'm sure I bought something else. I bought 1 Domino's pizza. And I think I got something else off Marketplace that was important, but I can't remember exactly what it is right off the top of my head. And then I bought $50 worth of those stone walkway stuff for the entryway to the door, because when it was raining, it was making the thing muddy. So I used the welcome mat here and I built a spot, and then eventually that's going to be moved around to the garden area. So over time, that'll shift away from where I have it, and it will be flower beds with like nice bushes and stuff. It's for the property. And then there goes $333, but that computer's nice. I'm just scared to do anything on it yet until I know for certain what I'm trying to do. I'm going to try to get the other computer to a point where I can get FL Studio off that computer and all my files and music off that computer, and then put it onto an SSD drive so that I can access it on any computer. And then I'm going to need the tech guy down the road to work on before I do anything. I don't want to mess with the computer, so I might try to see if my mouse is around. I had a nice gaming mouse somewhere. I might try to find that somewhere in my mess, and then I could start editing videos in digital illustration and try Blender out, try Unreal Engine out. Okay, we're gonna do when it gets to, it's 2 minutes and 58 seconds. When it gets to 3 hours and 1 minute, probably, I will go check out the pizza. Can you guys hear me all right? I'm down to do one more life path reading, if you want. I'm pretty sure we're in the space where it'll come to me. It's very spiritually taxing. Oh, bird right, left to right, saying, nope, don't do it. I rose my awareness and I was like looking out in spirit, like, what, should I do it? Should I take the chance and open the portal? And then the bird basically flew right over the window, left to right. Probably eating these mosquitoes. One more minute, and then we're good. I bet the hate watchers didn't even come today. They have to be kids. There's no way they're sitting there. They sat there for 10 hours a day for almost a month now. Like the whole month of June, they spent sitting in a comment section talking shit about one specific live streamer. And they publicly stated the goal is to get as many people as they can to ruin these people's lives, which is a crime. It's literally federally illegal to do that. It's a literal federal crime. Like, the longer it goes on and the more people get involved, the more likely the channel operator will receive charges. And he won't be able to combat them, and he'll have to experience what I'm experiencing. For real. And not being able to work. Oh, as soon as I opened the door, the ding went off. As soon as Spirit told me to open the door. Told me that Bender's going to jail. Told me to open the door. The ding went off. Ow! Crispy pizza. And you know what? I'm gonna leave the thing open. Move this down so that it's not much of an eyesore. And then I'm gonna take my pizza and run like a raccoon back to the den. There's a moth on my leg. My favorite thing is when people message me and say, like, I'll tell them about the stuff. I'll tell them the Casey spiel. And then they'll message me like 4 months later and be like, I literally ran into a Frank, a Brian, a Kai in one day. And then all the birds started going right to left when I thought about you. And I'm like, I don't know why it's happening, but it happens. I can't see. Get away from me, fly. Bitch. I'm gonna watch Fury starring Brad Pitt and Michael Cera. No, the wimp. Who's the skinny wimp in Fury? People are gonna look back in that's gonna go. That beeping will stop in a second. In like 100 years, when everybody's a little like mixed, like they look like light skin, they're gonna look back at Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio and then Skater Boy 2000s and say that that's when white people peaked. They're gonna look at Asmongold and be like, thank fucking God there's no more white people. I was excited for the solar lamps to come on, but I didn't know it needed rechargeable batteries. People judge me in town, but they're obese. It's nice. It's nice to see it getting more put together every day. Okay, we have to open the door. We have to put this here and hope the mouse don't get it. We have to find the cooler with the ice. Put the cooler with the ice and take out my mango drink. Then we have to find something to use as a lid apparatus. Lid apparatus. Use the weight. Take the mango drink. get back up here, put this here. This actually needs to go. It's gonna. Oh my God. You won't be able to see. There we go. I have to move this plywood. Lock the car. Okay. Smells like mouse in here now. Take this. Fireworks. Tomorrow I can start throwing everything out and making a big pile of shit I don't need. Moving the rocks over, mowing the lawn. I'm sorry, Taylor. Baby Taylor. And I didn't bring my charger in here. And I don't feel like going out to get it, so I'm gonna go. Good night.